Hello everyone, welcome to Screen Scream. I'm Viola. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about two new Japanese movies and Hollywood hits. I'm not sure about North America, but at least on the Netflix in Asia, the hottest topic recently is definitely City Hunter. It's starred by Suzuki Ryohei. I don't have Netflix, I don't subscribe to it, but after I watched Tokyo MER, I love Suzuki Ryohei very much. Although I don't have time to watch the TV series he later played in, I already decided to subscribe some streaming services for those TV series. And because of City Hunter, I think people have been discussing Japanese movies. So today I'm going to introduce two new Japanese movies that are going to be released this weekend. Let's check out the first new movie we're going to talk about today. All the Long Night. Misa Fujisawa experiences premenstrual syndrome once a month. During those times, she tries to deal with her uncontrolled irritation at understanding her colleagues at work. One day, when she experiences PMS, her anger explodes at Takatoshi Yamazoe, who has recently begun working at the same company. It was just a small action that triggered her anger, causing her to feel self-hatred. Meanwhile, Takatoshi suffers from panic disorder. Due to that, he gave up on many things in his life and he carries a lethargic attitude to his life. Becoming aware of each other's situation, Takatoshi Yamazoe and Misa Fujisawa begin to share a bond and try to help each other. Wow, I think this is a very inspiring story. When I first heard the introduction of All the Long Nights, I thought it's just a movie that's going to talk about some issues, including premenstrual syndrome and panic disorder. But after I heard the full version of the introduction, I realized that it's actually a kind of encouragement for people with these syndromes or disorders. I feel that it's a really warm story to watch. I consider myself a very fortunate girl because I don't really suffer a lot of pain during my period. Not to mention before it, I don't really feel anything. But a lot of people will feel a lot of pain during their period. And like the character in this movie, she suffers from premenstrual syndrome, which means she will feel extremely angry or other kinds of emotional state even before her period. I know some people are like that, and I think the situation in the movie is an even more serious case. Therefore, whenever I see someone say that, oh, men need to be careful 5 days a month because women are going to be very crazy, I feel very angry. I mean, like I mentioned, I usually don't feel anything during my period. So I don't think my emotions change a lot, at least it's not a lot. You know, your hormones actually do change during that period. So I won't guarantee that it's nothing different. But you can ask my boyfriend, I think it's about the same. I don't have tragic emotional change. But for some people, they feel super uncomfortable. And if people are not polite to them or people try to irritate them, of course they explode like the introduction we just heard. The story of All the Long Nights is adapted from a novel of a champion author, and it's directed by an award-winning director, so it's really a movie worth anticipating. If you're interested in Japanese movie or you're interested in premenstrual syndrome or panic disorder, I think All the Long Nights is a good start for you to know something about them. And now I think it's time for us to move on to the second new movie we're going to talk about today. It's a special kind of movie that only exists in Japan. Let's listen to the introduction. Kamen Rider, the winter movie. Houtaro Ichinose and his friends continue their search for the Kamis, and Ace Ukiyo and his friends confront the Yamato, who have appeared again, when suddenly the strongest level 10 Kami, X-Wizard, appears. Its mysterious magical powers have transformed Heiwa Sakurai and the others into the form of Kamis. In addition, as many as 5 strongest level 10 Kamis and the Geats Kami, which looks just like Kamen Rider Geats, will appear at the same time. Perplexed by the series of unusual situations, Houtaro and his friend Ace and Keiwa, who has been turned into a Kami, form teams to take on the strongest Kami capture game. What is the terrifying purpose hidden in this game? What is the mystery behind each Kami's appearance? Will Kamen Rider Gochar and Kamen Rider Geats be able to clear the hurdles that await them? The second new movie we're going to talk about today is Kamen Rider. It's tokusatsu, meaning special photography. I think I've talked about this in another episode before. So tokusatsu is a way to make movies that includes a lot of practical special effects. It's really cool, and Japan really leverages it to the most. Kamen Rider is apparently one of the most famous movies that are made through tokusatsu. Actually, I went to watch Shin Kamen Rider. I don't know if it's related to this one, but I have to say, I think the movie is pretty cool, but I don't really get it. I don't know what the movie wanted to tell me. But anyway, Kamen Rider really has a big fan base. In Japan, I'm pretty sure at home and abroad. But this winter movie, actually, I don't know whether it was released in winter and is only released in Taiwan now, or it's just the name of it. This one, the winter movie, Kamen Rider, the winter movie, is the one between the 4th and the 5th one. It's a brand new story based on 2 stories from the original plot. And since there are many different Kamen Riders, there are 2 different ones in this episode. Kamen Rider Gochar and Kamen Rider Geats. They're going to be on the big screen together. They're going to participate in this mysterious game held by X, like what we heard in the introduction. When I heard the introduction, I think it's pretty interesting. I thought it's like some game show, you know? And they have to capture the strongest Kami, which is level 10. Aside from characters that people are familiar with, there will be brand new Kamen Riders showing up. So be prepared and just look forward to it. Although I myself don't really understand what Kamen Rider is about, I'm pretty sure it has a lot of fan base, and if you also like Kamen Rider, don't miss this latest feature film. You won't be disappointed. And even though the poster looks like it's an animation, trust me, it's still tokusatsu. Before we move on to Top 007 and talk about Hollywood hits, let's review the crowded chart last week. We had 2 top 3s, Abigail and The Fall Guy. There were 3 top 2s, Civil War, Haikyuu the movie, Decisive Battle at the Garbage Dump, and Kung Fu Panda 4. Top 1 was Godzilla Kong, The New Empire. Although we don't have a lot of new faces on the charts this week, it was shuffled. So let's listen to top 7 to top 4 first and see which one we're going to talk about. Top 5, The Roundup, Punishment.
그러자. 뭐야 이씨.
Top 4, The Fall Guy.
Anyone but him. I didn't approve him. You know that. You are literally the last person on earth I want to see slap the shit out of you.
Unsung Hero.
On my last tour back home,
I lost a lot of money.
We have Unsung Hero on top 4 this week, but it's not going to be released in Taiwan any soon. I don't even know when, so if you want to watch it, you probably have to wait until it's on TV or when it's on the streaming services. And we've talked about the Roundup punishment last week, I believe. So today I'm going to talk about The Fall Guy. I know I've talked about it like 2 times already, but I really like it. And I still don't have time to write the review for it. So please wait for me for a few more days. But anyway, The Fall Guy. I've heard that the box office in Taiwan isn't pretty well. I don't understand. I mean, it's Ryan Gosling. Come on, he's hot. I know I'm biased, but there is still Emily Blunt. So I just don't get it why people don't like it. I mean, it's not a movie that's super good, but it's not bad. It's an adrenaline-filled one, and you can see all the exciting stunts. That's the part I like the most. As I mentioned a few weeks ago that I cried over The Fall Guy. Because just because all the stunts they did in the movie were real, you feel even more touched. For example, they broke the world record of car flipping when they filmed the movie. That's amazing. But I wonder if it's because people nowadays only watch short videos. They can't stand the fact that the director would spend some time in the beginning of the movie to pave the story for a bigger scene. And yes, I would admit that that's the downside of The Fall Guy, but I still wouldn't say it's too slow or something like that. It's still pretty amazing. So if you like Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, or you also want to pay tribute to the stuntsman in the film industry, I highly recommend you to watch The Fall Guy. But I think now it's time for us to move on to top 3 to top 1 and see which one we're going to talk about. Top 3, Godzilla, Kong, The New Empire.
This world has more secrets than we
Haikyuu, the movie. Decisive battle at the garbage dump.
じゃあさ、お前の学校強い？
Top 2, Challenger.
I want you to be my coach.
I want you to be my coach.
Luca Guadagnino's Challenger is nothing short of...
Top 1, Civil War.
We just try to stay out. With what we see on the news, seems like it's for the best.
Okay, I didn't realize that there were only 3 movies from top 7 to top 4. Only until I heard top 3 to top 1 and I realized that, wait, there are 4 of them? And I realized that, oh, it's a little bit crowded in this section. But anyway, basically there's no new faces, but it's shuffled. So top 1 this week is Civil War, and that's the one we're going to talk about. It not only receives a lot of box office in North America, but also in Taiwan. I'm actually pretty surprised because I don't even know Taiwanese people are interested in this kind of story. But the case is that the media now thinks the box office of Civil War has the possibility to surpass Everything Everywhere All at Once. Why we compare this one with Everything Everywhere All at Once? Because Civil War received 25,070,000 US dollars the first weekend. It totally surpassed what they expected. They expected to have 12 million or 18 million. It's like more than double or at least 1/3 more than their expectation. It's not only the movie that received the most box office on the first weekend of A24, but also the first one to be on top of the box office in North America. Before Civil War, the most biggest blockbuster A24 has released was Everything Everywhere All at Once. But now the media is predicting that if the box office of Civil War keeps increasing, it's totally possible that it's going to be more than Everything Everywhere All at Once. And if you don't research on Civil War, you will know that the protagonist is played by Kirsten Dunst. We all know her from Mary Jane of the Spider-Man series, but the reason why she took this case was because she said she couldn't stop reading the script. She said it was a reading experience that's so intriguing and so touching. I don't know whether she's exaggerating or not, but we all have this experience that we're reading something and we feel that we're watching a movie of it. And that's what Kirsten Dunst felt when she read the script of Civil War. The climax of the movie is when the US Army and the rebels fight with each other in Washington, D.C. And the crew actually built up streets in Washington, D.C. for this scene. And a lot of retired veterans participated in the performance. The director thought that they demonstrated amazing attitude and work ethic. I don't really know what they did, but I'm pretty sure they make this movie even better. So if you like war movie, or you just wonder why Civil War can be top 1 in both North America and in Taiwan, you should go watch it. And that's all the time we have for today. Hope you like the show and remember to tune in same time next week here at Screen Scream. I'm Viola. See you next week.